Hi there, my name is Ali and I've put together just a wee beginner's yoga class for you. It's about 50 minutes. So if you have done yoga before, just enjoy it. There's a couple of demonstrations. If you haven't done yoga before, it might be a good idea just to watch it. You can be doing something else, having a cup of tea, making dinner, that kind of stuff, and just have it on and you can glance at the screen, because it's easier to understand the poses watching than it is when you're actually in a pose, if that makes sense. So I hope you enjoy, and if you'd like more details you can contact me either by text or WhatsApp on 07733 014 679 or on Facebook or Instagram on Ali Fitness Newcastle, or by email, and it's alisonhull@mail.com. Thanks very much and enjoy. If you've got a yoga mat, pop it out, grab a bottle of water. We're going to start off in a comfortable seated position, but I'm probably going to bob back up to the camera just because I'm going to chat you through the breathing. But just a couple of things. When you come to sit, if you find that when you sit your back rounds like this and you find it really hard to sit, then a nice little technique is to lift up the bum and tilt the pelvis. Imagine your pelvis is like a bowl of soup. So you imagine you're tipping soup out from the front of your pelvis, and that will just help you find your sit bones to sit on. And then if you find it comfortable sitting cross-legged, please do. If you don't, then please come into straddle or come onto your knees, or if you'd rather just sit in a chair just for the first section, please feel free. I'm going to come up and sit in a chair so I can be closer to the camera so you can actually see what I'm doing. So whenever you're seated, I want you just to roll the shoulder blades back, relax, I'll sit direct, relax and lengthen through the crown of the head. We're going to start off with a technique called Ujjayi breathing. What Ujjayi breath does is it helps you slow down your breath, but it also helps to energize the body. So if you know what you're doing with Ujjayi breathing, please start. If you're not sure, you're going to open the mouth and make an ah noise as you breathe in, by partially closing the back of the throat. So it's like this. Close the mouth. Now breathe out through the nose slowly. And again, open the mouth. Close the mouth, slowly out through the nose. Now you've probably discovered that type of breathing is very, very drying. And if you are one of those people that finds that you snore, or you wake up in the morning with a dry mouth, sore throat, then it could be because you're breathing through the night through your mouth. I know I used to be one of those people. So this is a lovely technique because not only is it great during the day, it's also really helpful when you get into bed to use this technique just to help the body down-regulate and slow down. So we're not going to breathe in and out through the mouth, we're now going to breathe in and out solely through the nose, but you're going to partially close the back of the throat, and that's the reason for doing the ah bit at the start. So slowly breathe in. Hold the breath at the peak for a moment and slowly breathe out through the nose. This time as you breathe in, feel the belly ballooning out, feel the lungs pushing into the ribs, and feel the chest lifting. Long, slow inhale in. Keep that length through the body, keep the crown of the head reaching away, slowly breathing out through the nose. Carry on with that long, slow inhale in. I'm just going to come and join you guys on your mat. Gently holding the breath up for a moment at the peak, and long, slow exhale out. Now I want you to close your eyes and bring your focus firstly to your breath. And next time you breathe in, I want you to lengthen through the spine, relaxing the shoulder blades down the back. Imagine your chest is being lifted up. And once you get to the peak of that inhale, hold the breath and then slowly exhaling out, but keep the length through the spine. And at the end of the exhale, you're going to exhale every last bit of air out of your body. So the next time you inhale in, I want you to count through the breath as you inhale in, and then match the exhale out. So you're really focusing on balancing through that breath. and then just carry on with this style of breathing. I'm going to encourage you to do this breath throughout your yoga practice, as it just helps to slow everything down, to down-regulate. Also helps to bring you to the present moment. So the intention for this class is to slow down, to breathe to nourish the body, and to breathe to calm the mind. At the end of the next exhale, I just want you to slowly blink open the eyes. Take a big inhale, open out through the chest, pull the shoulder blades down the back. Open out the right hand, stretch the right fingertips out. Let the right hand rest down, roughly a foot from your hip, leaving the shoulder blades down the back, rotating the elbow inwards. So you're going to reach up as you inhale in. Inhale in. Exhale out and let the body relax down to the side. Only go as deep into the pose as feels comfortable, but make sure you stay rooted through both sit bones. So don't let that left sit bone reach up off the ground. Letting the head be heavy. Activating through both your hands, slowing down the breath. Letting the body stay heavy and relaxed to the side. Reach up with the left hand, rotate the left hand round, reaching the fingertips out. Slowly bringing that left hand down to reach off into the distance. And you can feel any stress, tension, either physical emotion just melting and disappearing off that arm. You're reaching off into the distance, that back arm super strong. Once you feel comfortable, just close the eyes, relax the face, slowing down the breath. Really engage in that diaphragmatic breathing, so really feel the belly balloon as you inhale in. Lift the right hand from the ground, bring it to the side of the head, let the head be heavy, slowly lifting the head and shoulders up. Take a big inhale in, slow down the breath. Opening out through the chest, keeping the chest open, leaning back into the hands and change the cross of the legs. We are creatures of habits. We will cross the same leg in first every time, pulling the shoulder blades back, letting the hand rest down, relaxing the shoulders. Inhale, lift up. As you exhale, let the body relax to the side, stay rooted through both sit bones. Keep that right sit bone sinking into the ground and only lean as far to the side as feels comfortable. So with the head, let it go wherever feels good. I like the ear relaxing down to the shoulder, but you might find chin to chest, or maybe rotating the head down, maybe letting the head rock back. What you should be feeling is this lovely release into the neck, but more so at this stage, that lovely opening and that lift. You're lifting out of the right hip and you're opening the right ribs. Let the body stay heavy and relaxed, reaching up with the right hand, rotate the palm, bring the hand down slowly and stop as soon as you can feel that release into the upper back, neck and shoulders, slowing down the breath. Long, slow inhale in. Long, slow exhale out. It's a lovely place just to close your eyes, relax your face. And again, if you can visualize any stress or tension just melting away, rolling down that arm and disappearing off into the distance. Lift your hand from the ground, bring it to the side of the head, let the head be heavy, lift the body up, opening out through the chest, inhale in. Pulling the shoulder blades down the back, leaning into the hands, unraveling the legs, and we're going to come into staff pose. So straighten out through the legs, mountain to loosen through the knees, activate through the feet. So you're pushing away with the heels. Again, just a little reminder, if you find that you come into this little rounded back place, use the pelvis, lift up, tilt the pelvis, pulling the shoulder blades down the back, activating through the feet. We're just going to sit here, we're going to sit lovely and strong, letting your hands just rest into the ground, pulling the crown of the head away from the tailbone. So whilst you're sitting here lovely and tall, I'm going to demonstrate what we're going to do to really warm up our core. You're going to take your time lying down onto your mat, and then you're going to bring the knees up over the hips. You're going to bring your hands up to face each other, and we're going to come into dead bug. So it's opposite arm and opposite leg reaches away and come back to center.
Any issues or concerns about your lower back, or if it feels too much, you can just do the arms. And if you want to start to get stronger into the core, you can just tap down with the feet. So tap down. Any problems with the shoulders, just do the legs. Make this exercise work for you. And then we're going to come into bridge. The feet are going to come down to the ground. You'll notice my knees and my ankles are aligned, and my knees and my hips are aligned. So the gap between your knees, you're going to push into the ground, and you're literally going to lift up one vertebrae at a time. When you get to here, you can really feel the quads, the muscles in the front of your thighs firing up. Take your time, and then you're going to lift the hips up as high as you can. Hold the hips up high and bring your focus to your breath. And then when you bring the body down, you're going to unravel one vertebrae at a time. So when you're ready, just lie down onto your mat, have a little shuffle around just to get nice and comfortable. Take your time whenever you get up or down from your mat, and just make sure you're working in a way that's kind and therapeutic to your body. So start off just by hugging the knees into the chest. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Release the legs. Bring your knees up over your hips. Activate through the feet. Pull the shoulder blades down the back. Activate through your hands. Opposite arm and opposite leg as you inhale in. As you exhale out, come back to center and stop. Change sides. Reaching away. Remember, you've got the options. Either just arms, just legs, or toe tapping. Focus on your breath. Inhale, reach. Exhale, close and stop. Inhale. Exhale. Keeping the body strong. I'm just going to do one more on each side. Hugging the knees into the chest, letting the back just flatten out. Release the legs, bring the feet down. Now's a really good time to take socks off, because it gives you much better connection to your mat and to the ground without socks. So, knees are directly over the ankles, knees are aligned to the hips. Take your time tilting the pelvis and slowly peeling the back up off the ground. Once you get your hips up, see if you can get the rest of your back up. Pushing the feet into the ground. This is a lovely therapeutic pose, especially if you spend a lot of time sitting, maybe driving, maybe standing. Helps to strengthen through the core, it helps to strengthen into all your joints. And it's also great for the back. Push through the feet, lifting the hips up high, slowing down the breath. Now shuffle the shoulder blades together, and the palms can face up towards the ceiling. It might be you want to clasp the palms at the base of your back and pushing your hands away. Slowing down the breath. Take a big inhale, lift the hips higher. And slowly unraveling the back. So we're going to lower the upper back down first and hold. The middle back down and hold. Finally the lower back down. Hugging the knees into the chest. Just gently rocking side to side. Giving yourself a lovely little back massage. Roll onto your side, and then we're going to come onto our hands and knees. So, we're going to set up for cat-cow. Cat-cow is a lovely back mobilization exercise. But to begin with, bring your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, and just let the hips gently sway from side to side, loosening out through the body, loosening out through the wrist. Bring the body back to center. Feel free to watch the first round, then join in. Take a big breath in. Let the belly sink down. Option to lift the head up. Tune into how it feels in your back. As you exhale out, rounding the back, tucking the tailbone, pushing your hands into that ground and feeling that lovely opening into the upper back. If you haven't already joined in when you're ready. Inhale in. Exhale out. Carry on in your own breath count. You might find that you move similar time to myself. You might move slower or maybe faster. Focusing on your breath. Focus on that lovely mobilization through the spine. part of the reason we get issues with our back is because our backs become very rigid and very stiff. Whereas they're made up of lots of little vertebrae and they're supposed to move independent of each other. Bringing the body after the next cat, opening out through the upper back. Bringing the body back to neutral spine, lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. I want you to bring the toes together, the big toes together, and I want you to walk the knees out wide on the mat. And then let the bum sit down onto the heels. It might be that your bum just goes onto your heels, it might be that you're a bit raised, and that's absolutely fine. And then let the body, pad the hands forward, and let the body sink down into child's pose. Stretch the fingertips out and you let the head rest. If the floor feels too far away, make a platform with your hands and let the head rest, or maybe make a pillow with your fist and let the head rest. The main thing is you should feel comfortable here. It's a lovely hip opening pose. It's a lovely pose to help you slow down, to help you ground. So if you're ever feeling overwhelmed, or just feel like everything feels too chaotic, this is a great place just to come. And then just bring yourself back to that lovely Ujjayi breathing with a long, slow inhale in. Balance with the exhale out. Walking the hands back towards your body, pushing the body up. Bring the knees together, curl the toes under, and then just push back onto your feet and slowly straighten the legs, bringing the body all the way up. Please grab a drink anytime you want one. So, I'm just going to demonstrate a couple of poses and then we're just going to run through a little sequence. So we're going to start off in mountain pose. So whilst you're watching, I want you to come into mountain pose. Bring the feet under the hips, opening out through the chest. Lifting the crown of the head away from the tailbone, focusing on your breath. I want you to stay here and I'm just going to demonstrate a couple of options. So when we start off in mountain pose, which is what you're in now. So keep watching. When you reach your hands up, we're going to hinge from the hips and we're going to reach the hands forwards and fold over the legs. As you fold forward, you're going to soften the knees, so gently bend into the knees. When you're here and you're reaching away, that might, if you've got any problems with your back, you might feel that in your back. So the other option is you reach up, then you bring your hands back in front of your heart. You soften the knees even more and you keep working through, hinging through the hips. So that's modification number one, with your hands in front of your heart and just slowing everything down. Then we're going to go through a little sequence and we're going to come into plank. When we're in plank, the hands are over the shoulders. No, the shoulders are over the wrists. That's what I'm looking for. And the body is really strong. Try and be careful not to let the hips sink down. You want to keep the hips raised and you're not here because that's more like a moving towards downward dog. So the shoulders over the wrists, core is lovely and strong. Whenever we're in plank, if this feels too much, please modify it and come into three-quarter plank where the knees are on the ground. So from here, we're then going to come into a position called cobra, or you can do up dog if you're familiar with it. We're just going to stick with cobra today. So cobra starts off with your palms flat on the ground. As you can probably see, I've got my elbows on the ground. So this is Sphinx. This may be your cobra. What you're doing with cobra is a gentle back bend. It might be that that feels too much. So have your hands further out, and this can be your cobra. Or it might be that you want to lift the elbows off the ground and go a little bit deeper into the pose and use the upper body more for your cobra. From here, we're going to push back to downward dog. So when you're in downward dog, you're bringing the hands under the shoulders, the elbows are in. You're going to push through the body and you're bringing your body back up into three-quarter plank. You're keeping that core lovely and strong. You're going to curl the toes under and push back into downward dog. If you find you're in downward dog, you want to step the feet forward, please do. If you find your body's more over the hands than over the feet, so you feel like you're here and you can feel your hands pushing into the ground, it's almost like you're not using the feet at all, then bend the knees and push the chest in towards the knees. And that will make a massive difference because what you're trying to do in downward dog is get that lovely straight back and the head just hanging. So try not to do this with your head and anything. You just want to let the head relax. So we're going to put all that together and just run through a little sequence of classic sun salutations, which are a really nice way to wake the body up or just to work through the body. So come into mountain pose, pulling the shoulder blades down the back, opening out through the fingers. Bring your hands to rest in front of your heart. Take a big inhale, reach up. Hinging from the hips, letting the body fold down. Soften through those knees, letting the head just hang. Stepping the right leg back, keep the right knee raised. Push your feet into the ground, slowly hinging the body up. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Relax the shoulder blades down the back. Hinging from the hips. Stepping back to plank. Remember, you've got the option to be in three-quarter plank. Lowering the knees down first, keeping the core strong. Slowly bringing the chest down. Sliding the hands forwards, gently scooping up into cobra. Exhaling out as you push back. Hands come under your shoulder. Push through your hands. Keep the elbows close to the body. Lifting the body to three-quarter plank. Then pushing back into downward facing dog. Letting the head just hang. Remember that little trick about softening the knees, so bend the knees a little bit to get that back longer. Step the right leg forward, push through the right foot, keeping the core strong as you lift the body up. It's quite a wobbly transition. On cue, I wobble out of the pose. Pulling the shoulder blades down the back, hinging from the hips. Bring your hands down to frame that front foot. Use the core to step the left leg to the front of the mat, straighten out through the leg, let the body just fold forwards. Inhale, unravel the back, reaching the hands up high, bring the hands to rest in front of your heart. We're going to do the same on the left leg. Inhale in, exhale, hinge. Engage through the core, left leg back, push through the feet, keeping that core lovely and strong, lifting the body up into a high lunge. Relaxing the shoulder blades down the back. I'll just turn and face the camera so you can see that my hands are reaching up, my hands are activated, and I'm focused on keeping the length of the crown, the head away from the tailbone. Hinge from the hips, step back to plank. Lengthen, crown of the head away. Lower the knees, keeping the core strong, lowering the body down. Elbows travel back, slide the hands, cobra. Exhale and push back into downward facing dog. Take your time. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Step the left leg forwards. Push through the feet, keeping the core strong as you bring the body up. Hinge from the hips. Frame that front foot. Engage through the core, stepping the right leg to the front of the mat. Straighten through the legs. Inhale, lift the body halfway. Exhale, lower the body down. Inhale, bring the body all the way up. Reaching the hands high. Bring your hands back in front of heart. Fabulous. So, we're going to build on that a little bit, but I'm not going to do any more demonstrations because I'm just going to chat you through. So just move and it will make sense, hopefully. So, we're going to start off relaxing the shoulder blades back, finding that balance point, lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Inhale in, lifting the arms up. Exhale down, bringing the arms down. So you're going to focus on keeping the whole body still, apart from moving through the range of movement through your shoulders. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. This time start to soften the knees and start to hinge from the hips. You're sticking your bum back as if you're sitting down into a chair. Inhale, push through the feet, straighten the body all the way up. You might want to add a gentle little back bend and then slowly hinging from the hips. This time you're going to bend the knees a little bit more. Bring the arms all the way back. This time keep the body low because you're going to sit back in this position which is called chair. Relaxing the shoulder blades down the back. Activating through the hands. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Bring your hands to your hips. Slowly relaxing your body down towards your thighs. You're trying to let the body rest on the thighs and let the head just hang. Release the hands, bring your hands down to the ground, lean your weight into your hands, and then jump or step back to plank. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Lowering down with or without the knees. Inhale in, lifting up, just into cobra. If you know what you're doing, you've got the option of downward or up dog. Pushing back into downward facing dog, letting the head just hang. Slowing down the breath. So we're going to step forward into warrior two, but this time we're going to use, we're going to come into three-legged downward dog. So you've got that option. So engage through the core, floating the right leg up, sorry. Float the right leg up into a three-legged downward dog. Crunch the right knee to the chest, step into the front of the mat, bringing the body up into warrior two. Warrior two, the front toes face the front of the mat, the back foot's parallel to the back. Pull on the shoulder blades down the back, lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Your arms are alive and active. They're not down here and they're not up here. They're coming straight out of your shoulders and keeping the shoulder blades strong. Rotate the front hand, hinging from the hips, cartwheeling into reverse warrior, reaching up and over the head, slowing down that breath, feeling that lovely opening down the side ribs. This arm can rest on the leg, it can come to the hip, or it can wrap around your back. Opening out into warrior two, letting the arm rest onto the thigh, reaching up and over. So you're going to get that lovely side stretch that we had at the beginning of class. Find that comfortable place for your head, relax the shoulder blades down the back. Try to keep working this knee over the ankle. Slowly focus on your breath. Then bring the body back up into warrior two. You're going to rotate the palms to face up. As you inhale in, you're going to straighten the front leg, bringing your hands up over your head. Rotate the palms out, bending into the front knee. Try and get the front knee over the ankle and it's pushing out to the little toe. Rotate the hands, inhale. Rotate, exhale. Last time, inhale. Exhale. Take your time, cartwheel the hands down to the front of the mat, stepping back to plank. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Slowly lowering down with or without the knees. Inhale in, lifting up. Pushing back into downward facing dog. Letting the head just hang. So we're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. You're going to take a big inhale in. And you're going to bend your left knee and push your right heel down to the ground to get that deeper stretch into the right leg. And push the left hand into the ground and almost come on to the fingertips of the right hand. Inhale in, come to center, lifting the heels up. Exhale, other way, bend the right knee, pushing the left heel down to the ground, pushing the right hand into the ground so you can feel that lovely stretch across the core, coming onto the fingertips of the left hand. It might be that you want to loosen off through the wrist, and then come onto the toes, letting the heels relax down. Engage through the core, floating the left leg up to three-legged downward dog. Crunch the left knee to the chest, step into the front of the mat. Warrior two. Whatever we do on one side, we balance out and do the same on the other side. Relax the shoulder blades down. The front knee's working out to the little toe. The little toe's pushing into the ground. You're lifting up through the arch, slowing down the breath. Rotating the front hand, hinging forwards, coming into reverse warrior. 3 different options for where you'd rather have the arm. Slowing down the breath, working that front knee over the ankle, pushing out towards the little toe to open out through the hip. Open out through warrior two, letting the front arm rest on the front thigh, reaching up and over and getting that beautiful lift from the hip and that lovely opening along the side ribs. Slowing down the breath. Imagine you're leaning against a wall, so you're opening out through the chest as well. Super slowly coming back up through warrior two, relaxing the shoulders down the back. Rotate the palms to face up, fingertips are outstretched, straighten the front leg, bringing your arms up slowly. Rotate the palms slowly, exhale. Rotate, inhale. Rotate, exhale. One more time. relaxing the shoulder blades down the back, cartwheeling the hands to the front of the mat, stepping back to plank, lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone, slowly lowering down with or without the knees. Inhale in, lifting up to up dog or cobra. Slowly pushing back into downward facing dog. Letting the head just hang. Bend the knees and hug the knees close into the chest, look to the front of the mat. Jumper step to the front of the mat. When you get there, straighten out the legs, letting the head just hang. Inhale, lift the body halfway up. Exhale fully all the way down. Bend the knees and let the body rest onto the thighs, slowly hinging the body up, sitting your bum back, relaxing the shoulders. Push through the feet, lengthen through the body, hands in front of heart. Fabulous. Just grab a quick drink. And then when you're ready, just come back to the front of your mat. Pulling the shoulder blades down your back. Bringing the feet underneath the hips. Just going to come into mountain pose. Just going to get you to just gently rock the body forwards or stand back side on. Rock the body forwards, gently rocking the body back. And gently forwards, gently back. Then bring the body back to centre, lengthen the crown of the head, away from the tailbone, bringing your hands in front of your heart. Relaxing the shoulder blades down the back and almost feel that you've got a suction, lifting the chest up. Hinging from the hips, softly bending the knees and sitting back into chair. Pushing your feet evenly into the ground, activating through the hands. Hinging from the hips, bringing your hands down to the mat, letting the head just hang. Lean your weight into your hands, jump a step back to plank. Crown of the head reaches away. Lowering down with or without the knees. Inhale and lifting up to up dog or cobra. Pushing back into downward facing dog. Engaging through the core, floating the right leg up, crunching the right knee to the chest, stepping to the front of the mat, pushing through the feet, bring the body up into a high lunge, slowing down the breath. Bringing the right hand to the right hip, reaching high with the left arm, bringing the left arm over that right leg. From here you've got the option to bring your hands into prayer position and to keep the back knee raised, or you can lower the back knee down if that feels better. Slowing down the breath. If you're lowering the back knee down, feel free to stuff a cushion underneath your knee or double over on the mat. Slowing down the breath. You're working the hands and the heart to be aligned. Slowly unravel the body, bringing the left hand under the left shoulder, opening out the right hand into twisted warrior. Slowing down the breath. Imagine you're leaning against the wall behind you. Again, it might be it's better for you with the knee on the ground. Bringing your right hand down to the outside edge of your right leg. And I want you to try and straighten this front leg. So my leg stopped at this point because there's no way it's straightened. So what I'm going to do is shuffle the back leg in, closer to the body but wider on the mat. And you're coming into a pyramid. So when you're in pyramid, the feet are wide as if they're on a train track. And your toes are facing forward and you're working your hips to be facing forward as well. Slowing down the breath. Letting the head just hang. Engaging through the core, straighten the body up and coming up high. Relaxing back. I'm just going to turn and face the camera because we're now going to crunch the back leg in towards you. So push all the weight through your right leg and crunch your left knee into the chest. Bring your right hand to the outside edge and just going to open up into a gentle twist. Just going to hold it for one breath. And then we're going to relax that foot down, bringing your hands in front of your heart. Just go back on my mat so you can see my feet. So we're going to come into tree pose, which is a lovely balancing pose. So it might be this is your version of tree and you've just got the toes on the ground and you're resting the heel. It might be that you're going to lift the foot up. And you're just going to embrace all those little movements little wobbles your body's making. It might be that you bring your foot all the way up. Let your hands rest in front of your heart. If this feels okay, you might want to challenge yourself by bringing your hands up over your head, slowing down the breath. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. And if you wobble out of the pose, simply bring your body back in. Bring your hands back in front of your heart, engaging through the core and stepping back to plank. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Super slowly lowering down with or without the knees. Inhale, lifting up to up dog or cobra. Just pushing back into downward facing dog. Letting the head just hang. Engage through the core. This time floating the right leg, left leg up. Yeah, left leg up. Apologies. Sometimes I mirror, sometimes do the same leg, get myself modelled. Crunch the knee into the chest, step to the front of the mat, pushing through your feet. So you shove the left leg at the front of the mat, the right leg at the back. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Relax the shoulder blades down the back. And even though your legs are split, you're keeping the body centre. So you're really focusing on that body staying here. So you're not leaning into that front leg or relaxing into the back leg. Let your left hand come to your left hip. Reach high with the right arm. Bring the right arm over the left. And then you've got the option into prayer position or make a face and wrap the other hand around her. Or if this twist feels too much, just let the forearm rest onto the leg. And remember, you've got the option to have the back knee down or to have the back knee raised. Slowing down the breath. Pushing through the feet evenly. So even though the body's folded towards the front leg, you're still pushing that back leg into the ground. Slowing down the breath. Super slowly coming out of the twist. Right hand under right shoulder, opening out into a twisted warrior. Slowing down the breathing. Bring the left hand down to the outside edge of that front leg, and then you're going to work that front leg as straight as you can. Again, you might need to shuffle the back foot in a little bit, but try and have the feet quite wide apart so they're kind of on train tracks rather than a tightrope. Letting the head just hang. Pushing that back foot into the ground to feel that lovely opening along the back of the leg. Let the head release. Engaging through the core, slowly bringing the body up. Relaxing the shoulder blades down the back. I'm just going to turn and face the camera. Put the feet evenly. Engage through the core. Move your weight into the front leg, crunching the back knee in. Opposite arm reaches across and you're going to come into a gentle twist. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. If having your arm extended feels too much, bring your hand to your hip. Slowing down the breath, activating through that foot, and then slowly to transition into tree pose. Get your weight comfortable through that foot, and it might be that you just stand here with the toes, using your toes as a little stabilizer, or you might want to slowly walk the leg. It can go anywhere apart from the knee. You just don't want to be putting pressure on the side of your knee. Slowing down the breath. I know when I first started with yoga, my feet used to constantly slide down. I'd be like, oh, these leggings are too slippy. But I just realised that I just wasn't being sort of strong enough. And it might be your leggings are slippy, but with a little bit of practice, you'll find that your leg tends to stay in place. Slow down the breath. Inhale in, reaching the hands up if you want. Super slow with the breathing. If your hands are reach away, bring them back into your heart. If you find that you wobble out of pose, just simply come back in. You will get stronger, more stable in balanced pose. Engaging through the core, stepping that back leg back. We're going to step into plank. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Super slow, lowering down. Inhale in, lifting up to up dog or cobra. Pushing back into downward facing dog. We're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. So just do whatever feels good. It might just be sort of softening the knees, pushing the chest in towards the knees, or I quite like to let my hips sway from side to side. So I let my hips sway to the right, and I push through my left hand and through my left foot, coming back to centre, let the hips sway to the left and push through the opposite hand. Just get that beautiful stretch through the side of the body. Then wherever you are, just bringing the body back to centre. Bending the knees and really hugging the knees into the chest like you're closing your book. Looking to the front of the mat, Jump or step to the front of the mat, straighten out the legs, letting the head just hang. Inhale, lift the body halfway. So you're trying to flatten out through that back, exhale fully. Bending the knees, hinging the body up, sitting back into chair pose. Straighten the legs, bringing your hands to rest in front of your heart. Fabulous. Grab a quick drink. And then make sure you've got layers or anything to make yourself nice and toasty and comfortable. We're just going to start to cool down. So, I'm going to pop my socks on. We're going to come into a position called reclined figure 4, which is basically this but on your back. But you're going to bring the leg into your body. Make sure you're tuning into how your body feels. And then from there we're going to go into happy baby, and then we're going to finish off in bridge. So, take your time lying down onto your mat. Lengthen through the spine. So start off just hugging the knees into the chest. Feel that lovely lengthen through the crown of the head. Keep hold of the right leg. Left foot comes down to the ground, knees bent. Right foot rests onto left thigh, let the knee relax out. So if you've got any issues around your hips, knee, lower back, this might be where you stay. So you're still getting that lovely opening into the hip. Letting the knee relax out to the side. Otherwise, bring the left leg into the body. So it might be that you use the arms to pull the leg in, it might be that you use a strap. But I found that when I do those things, I kind of end up sort of stressing, not in a stressful way, but just straining through the back, whereas I think it's more important for the chest to remain open, the head to stay relaxed, and just use the leg. But if you can't or it doesn't feel right, then feel free to also use the arms or to use a strap or a scarf. Activate through the feet, just get that lovely stretch, non-weight bearing stretch into your ankles. Now bring your focus back to your breath. Slowly lowering your left leg down, unhooking the right leg, hug both knees into the chest, keep the left leg in, release the right leg. Left foot onto right thigh, letting the knee relax out. Again, you've got the option to stay here. If this feels okay and you want to bring the knee in, then slowly bringing the knee in as close to your chest as you can, activating through the feet to get that lovely non-weight bearing stretch, and just letting the left knee relax out as far as you can, bringing your focus back to your breathing. Slowly lowering down the leg, unhooking the knee. Hug both knees into your chest. So this time you're going to bring your knees wider than your chest. It's like you're trying to get your knees up to your armpits, and then you're going to flick the feet up towards the ceiling. And we're going to go into happy baby. So option 1 is you wrap your arms around the thighs and pull your thighs in. Option 2 is you reach for your foot, either through the instep or round the little toe. And then you're just working into the hips. Releasing any tension, any stress into the lower back. Slowing down the breath. It's a lovely place just to close your eyes, relax your face. Make sure the stretch feels active. So if it feels kind of too easy or not getting stretchy, then bring the feet more over the head. If it feels too tough, come back to wrapping the arms around the thighs. And slowly releasing the legs, bringing the feet back underneath your knees to set up for bridge. Pushing through your feet, slowly peeling the back, one vertebrae at a time up Keep pushing through the feet, keep lifting through the hips. Once you get the hips up, carry on and see if you can get the rest of the back up. Once you get the back up, maybe shove the shoulder blades together, opening out through the hands, bringing your focus to the breath. Super slow as you exhale out. Take a big inhale, lift the hips up high, and then unravel your back one vertebrae at a time. Take your time, keeping the hips and the pelvis lifted. Slowly hugging the knees into the chest. And then we're just going to relax our bodies into Shavasana, or corpse pose. So, when you release the legs, you've got the option to keep the feet flat on the ground and maybe let the knees relax into each other. You've got the option to put some cushions underneath the legs. Or if it feels okay, you're going to straighten the legs out. You're going to let the feet just relax out by the side. You're going to lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone and let the arms just rest down by the side. Just close down the eyes. Relax your face. Let the body settle. Make sure you're lying in a balanced way. Just slow down the breathing. I'm just going to turn my lights out so you can feel more relaxed. It might be that you want to dim your lights at home. You might want to put some candles on. You might want to get a blanket. Just let the body relax into the ground. Soften the hands, soften through the feet. Let the legs be heavy. Let the breathing go natural. If as you're lying here you find that your mind starts to wander, just acknowledge those thoughts and then watch them float on by, allowing your body to relax and be heavy and feel grounded and connected, and slowing down the breath, and finally let the breathing go completely natural. Just bring your awareness back to your breathing. Start to deepen that breath, long, slow inhale in. And then start to waken up the body. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, loosen off the ankles and wrists. If your legs are straight, start to soften the knees and slowly hugging the knees into your chest. Feel that lovely length through the spine, and then maybe just gently start rocking from side to side, maybe making little circles with your lower back. Maybe scissoring through the knees, just gently bringing movement back to the body. And then super slowly rolling onto your side and gently bringing your body back into a comfortable seated position. Bringing your focus back to your breath, a long, slow inhale in. Lengthening through that spine, long, slow exhale out. Namaste just means I bow to you. It means I respect the place in you that's the same as the place in me. Big breath in. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me. If you would like any more information, or maybe to join us for yoga on Zoom, or when classes resume after lockdown, which is hopefully going to be the start of December, then please get in touch.
you can either drop me a text or contact me via WhatsApp on 07733 014 679, or Facebook or Instagram is Ali Fitness Newcastle, or email alisonhull@mail.com. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed. Cheers. Bye.